lost. This thought fills my heart with pink frost. Thought I was dreaming, so I didn't hear the screaming. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. She won't move and I'm holding her hand. She won't move and I'm holding her hand. She's not lying. I'm so scared. I have to stop crying. Now she's dead. What can I do if she dies? What can I do if she dies? What can I do if she's lost? This thought fills my heart with pink frost. Oh no. Strange scenes beneath the deepest of dreams, acted out beneath the absence of light. They're so frightened, but you won't hear the screams as they fight in the abyss of night. Huge things with teeth and great tentacles, needing smaller fish to feed on. But we plundered all their favorite food, so the giant ones will move on. Well, some people saw a plesiosaur. Someone thought they saw a sea serpent. I so wish to do a monster or two, but the sea is now uncertain. 'cause I can't help you. I can't help you. I can't help you. I can't help you. Can't help you. I 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 can't help you. Help you. I can't help you.
So I'm Mark Riley, sat here in Salford Media City, and I'm really, really delighted to say that I've been joined by the Chills. Hello, the Chills.
Hello, Mark.
Hello.
G'day.
Yeah, a real pleasure to have you in. Thanks for making the effort and coming to see us.
It only took us 40 hours travel and numerous discomforts. But
Yeah, do you know what? I mean, I think I'm right in saying that we've got a band called Cuz. You might not be aware of Cuz, but the component parts of Cuz are Sam from the Go Team. Are you aware of the Go Team? Mm-hmm. Okay. And Mike Watt of the Minutemen,
Yep.
and Firehose and the Stooges.
Stooges, yeah.
And he's flying, especially for this session, 7,000 miles. But you've just dwarfed that.
Yeah. I don't think you can actually come much further. So
No. I think you're going to win that battle every time, really, aren't you? Which is a good start to the programme. So, Martin, would you introduce the band members, please?
Okay, I'll start in order of how they joined because this is going to come up in the conversation. So 15 years on drums, Todd Knudsen. Very close, started on keyboards, now on bass is James Dixon. Then Erica came along and she does violin, keyboards and guitar. And then she kind of left briefly. Ollie Wilson joined on keyboards, but then stayed. Well, so we couldn't get rid of him when Erica returned. So yeah, we've had a very stable band for 15 years now, which is...
Yeah, I know that, because people do say, you have loads of different lineups and all this kind of stuff, but, you've been going off and on for 34 years, haven't you? So, it's going to happen.
There were a few changes in the first quarter of the band, the first half, I guess, mainly because anybody down in the Southern Hemisphere in their right mind is not going to be looking at rock and roll as a serious career once they realise the kind of costs of getting around. So I think there was only two people I was quite pleased to... No, one person I was pleased to fire, one I was sad to fire. The rest all left for, personal reasons,
right,
careers, that kind of stuff.
I hate to break this to you live on air, but Erica is going to be leaving the band as well at the end of the night tonight because she had been spotted drinking out of my Man City mug without permission. So after the session, the police will arrive and take her away.
No way.
Actually, your mug has been blessed, so you should be the thankful one.
Oh, all right then. Well, Michelle, call the police off. Right, okay. We've sorted that all out really, really quickly. So what song are you going to do for us first, the Chills?
Actually, I think we'll let people kind of guess as it goes along.
Okay, all right, great. Dangling a carrot, love it. Okay, get to it. So I've been rejoined by the Chills. Hello.
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 And we've called the police off. You'll be happy to know you're all going to be safe and sound out the door tonight. Don't do it again, no. City mug. So Martin, we do go back a long way.
Yes, we do. I vaguely remember you, but there were an awful lot of you guys running around New Zealand at that point, and I remember the gigs being great. I'm surprised to hear we played with you, which means either it was a really good gig and the after party was even better,
right,
or somebody's got something wrong. But I think
I'm sure that you played with us, but then I can't remember what happened yesterday. But I remembered certainly with the Flying Nun thing and all Chris Knox and all of those guys being about and the Chills being a big part of what was going on there. And the funny thing is that it often gets described. You've defined it already. I was going to ask you to define the Dunedin sound, but you've done it because you've played already. But you were hugely influential on the scene, weren't you? And still are.
Yeah, I guess so. We're the band that became the most prominent internationally, but the most crucial was still the Clean in terms of the influence, which is still permeating and being picked up by people. And the ones that set that off were the Enemy, which was Chris Knox, who became Toy Love, then Tall Dwarves, and a lot of wonderful solo music. And as as I think you've heard, suffered a stroke a few years back. But is from what I understand, I spoke to him at Christmas time. He can still speak some words and is very he understands what's going on. So I rang him up to tell him what was going on with the band, and he was like, yes. And it's all really positive stuff, and I think he's painting again. And
great.
And he's released a single with this group of young people, and which is basically him making extraordinary vocal noises, which is kind of heart-wrenching, but also like, go for it, you know.
He's back. I mean, that's the thing. We're talking about Chris Knox, who like flying on and all that kind of stuff. And if you, Martin has just described his career in a nutshell, really. But yeah, a wonderful guy who has been sadly poorly for the last few years. But before the Chills, am I right in saying you were in a punk band?
A very poor kind of school punk band called The Same, which was kind of inspired by the more post-punk, because it took quite a while for things to saturate through back then.
Right.
But the intentions were good, and we had a lot of fun, and had the police call round to a couple of parties, so there's some cred there.
You hadn't been drinking out of somebody's city mug, had you? No, I need to get over that. I need to move on. So. But so were you like kind of like, because famously Howard Devoto was in Buzzcocks, and after a short while he thought, right, okay, I've enjoyed that, but there's not really much for a future in that. Is that kind of why you left punk behind and went down a different route?
Even in the band The Same, some of the first Chill songs, Kaleidoscope World, Set and Dole, Frantic Drift, were already being attempted to play, and they just couldn't play them. So all of a sudden I fell in with Peter Gutteridge, who had already been in The Clean, who later became famous with the incredible band Snapper. And we basically started the Chills just realising we both loved the Cramps, we both loved Can, all sorts of things like that. But we had our own thing to do. So it was kind of, a weird post-punk thing that was so different to what was happening here at the same time. But in the same way, sort of people needed to move on from punk and just draw on these different references. So in our case, it was a weird mixture of American kind of psychedelic garage stuff meets, as I mentioned, a whole lot of German stuff came through at that point. So Faust, Neu, Amon Jewel 2, thrown in the mix, and of course all the British stuff, the Kinks and the Beatles and Stones. And just one important thing was the songs, because of that kind of thing. The British stuff was the importance of songs, and again through Chris Knox, always stressed the importance of good songs. So you'll find most of the key Dunedin bands, the songs have survived, even if the sounds are kind of a bit dated sometimes. Yeah,
well, I mean, it is about the songs. You're dead right, and I can tell you that people are really excited about you playing, and you are touring. We've got the dates, but to say that the Chills are playing really did put a thrill amongst the audience. It's like it's one of those names. I mean, obviously we've been playing records that you've made over the years, and to have you here now is a real treat. So thanks for coming in.
Thank you again.
And you've got 2 more tunes to do for us. You're going to do one now. So what are you going to do next for us?
Well, it's a new one. A quick story. In Dunedin, there's a studio called Albany Street Studios, which is essentially Abbey Road Studio 2. It's one of the old BBC studios that they built around the world. Most of them have been demolished. This one hasn't, and it's now a world-class studio. So we have just finished what we consider a really wonderful album, which I'm staying on in a larger southern city, which I forget this name.
Fair enough.
To mix it once the band go home.
Right. Okay, so when will that be released?
We were aiming for the end of the year. I think there's going to be problems with cover artwork, which will push it into early next year, but very soon.
Right, okay. Well, you'll keep us posted, won't you?
Yep.
Thank you. All right, the Chills live in session. What's this one called?
Underwater Wasteland.
Okay, great. And talking of cool, we've got the Chills live in the room. Bad pun, didn't mean it. All right, Martin, you were just telling me that I played David Watts previously, and you said there's a strange anecdote.
Well, I've heard that to escape his infamy here, he fled to Dunedin, New Zealand for some time. So I really am not sure if that's true. What I'll do, I'll do some research, and I'll bung it up on the new Chills Facebook page as some sort of story if I can, because I'm terrible at kind of new technology, but I'm trying to get on top of this, and I'm trying to learn how to Twitter and do all those things properly to communicate with people who want to know stuff. So
it does work, doesn't it? I mean,
it does, yeah.
I was very, very cynical about Twitter for a long time, and then I found out that it does actually have uses. I don't use it for any good purpose. It's just all stupidity that I use it for, but people do.
I don't want to know what people eat. I don't want to know what their cats are doing. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll stop doing it. Right. Okay. So you are touring. So tomorrow night, I am right in saying that you're playing the Broodnow Social Club in Leeds, legendary venue. You'll really enjoy that. And then, well, again, all great venues. The 24th of July, the Dome in Tufnell Park. 25th, you're playing Indie Tracks in Derby. The 26th, you're playing in Belgium. The 28th, you're playing in Germany. The 29th, the Paradiso in Amsterdam. You played there before, surely?
Yep, once.
Yeah, great venue. The 31st of July, Button Factory in Dublin. On the 1st of August, Edinburgh Electric Circus. And the 2nd of August, Glasgow Commonwealth Games. So that's pretty impressive, isn't it, way to round it all off?
That's kind of been the root of the whole thing actually happening, was the Commonwealth Games. So, yeah, looking forward to that. It's going to be bizarre. I imagine a lot of very drunken athletes will turn up and not pay any attention to us at all.
Well, the thing is, I suppose that they deserve to let the hair down at some point, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just as long as it's not like they're not slugging bottles of beer while they're running.
Yeah.
They'll probably get away with it, won't they?
That's right.
Great stuff. Okay, that's at the Old Fruit Market you're playing, is that right?
That's right, apparently.
Okay, brilliant. Well, I tell you what, we've got one more tune from you now, and it's just been a thrill to have you in, so thanks very much for coming in. And the last song is, there is a story which we should mention, really, just out of respect, I think, for the last track that you're playing tonight.
I Love My Leather Jacket. It was written because our second drummer, Martin Bull, died of leukemia in 1983 and bequeathed me his leather jacket. And it just seemed a way of kind of honouring him and the responsibility of caring for the whole Chills kind of thing, which briefly we dropped the name. We thought we'd leave it behind, but everyone just called us the Chills anyway.
Yeah.
We realised it was actually worth honouring him by carrying forward. So it's become one of the Chills' key songs still after all this time.
Yeah, well, fabulous. And a fabulous tribute. So, yeah, if you don't mind, if you can play it for us now.
We don't mind at all.
Thank you. Proper ending too. Just marvellous. The Chills live in session. I Love My Leather Jacket. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us, Mark. It's been great fun.
It was great. And also, we need to have a honourable mention to Fish Rider Records and also Opposite Sex and all the other bands that they do, because they're a really great bunch of people, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. There's a lot happening tonight at the moment. It's great.
Yeah, fabulous. Okay, well, again, thanks for coming in.
Cheers.